seen so many things, and I like to think nothing surprises me. So I try to take it all in stride, no matter what tomorrow brings. Oh yeah, keep me guessing, holding on tight for the ride of my life with you. All I can say, there's no such thing as an ordinary day.
Well, I don't know about you, but I can get lost anywhere, anytime, really, really fast. I am what some know as a lost person. Some of you are unlost people, and you never get lost when you're going somewhere, do you? How many of you guys are unlost people? I mean, go hold them high. Be proud. I mean, like you're ones, man, you do not get lost when you're going somewhere. And you arrive on time. Like some of you guys are like garage door people. Like if you're going somewhere, you want to see your garage door up and then down when you leave, and you want to see the garage door at the other end come up, right? That's it. And you're like, I'm not stopping. If you've got to use the bathroom, it's too bad. Okay? Because we are on a mission, and we're going to go from here to there. We're going to be efficient. We're going to be effective. How many of you guys are those people? Hold them up high. Be proud. I'm excited for you. I am not that guy. I am a lost person. I can get lost anywhere, anytime, no matter the size of the city. A very tiny city. Spin me around 3 times, and I can be lost for a long, long time. And here's one of the challenges about it. Most of the time, I don't care. And I drive destination people crazy. They're like, what is wrong with you? And you get lost. And you know, the good thing about being a lost person, a person that has this lost tendency, is that God linked me with an unlost, with Julie. And as long as Julie is in the passenger seat and she's paying attention, then everything is golden. Like if she's paying attention, I just drive and I'm happy because I'm feeling pretty good about being on the road. I just love being out driving. It's all good. I'm happy. Feel good. Might be lost, but I feel good. Okay? Julie does not feel good when we're lost. It makes her unhappy. And if you have an unhappy wife, you have an unhappy life. And I'm telling you, man, when God puts you with an unlost to keep you found, and then it just aggravates her. She's like, how did you do this again? There was one time we were just coming back from South Carolina. We came back through southeastern Kentucky. Normally we'd come straight up 75 from Knoxville through Corbin, Lexington, and back home. This day I decided I would go through Middlesboro, Kentucky, southeastern part of the state, and do kind of a back roads path, and then go right past my parents' house and stop and visit them in Corbin. I thought this will be just nice, and it'll be a beautiful view. And Julie is working on her computer in the passenger seat. That's a mistake. Because I missed a turn. I mean, like a major turn, like an interstate, like change interstates here.
60 miles.
Yeah, and about how many miles? Yeah, we're 60 miles in. She looks up from the computer. She says, where are we? I said, I don't know, but I'm happy. And she said, what interstate are we on? She said, this is the wrong interstate. And what should have been an easy trip to my parents' house turned into like a 4-hour lost ordeal in Virginia somewhere, trying to figure out how we get back. So bad that at one point we had no GPS, like our phones didn't work well enough, that I could get signal to make a call, but not to pull in like mapping stuff. And so I called my dad and I said, Dad, we're somewhere in Virginia. We're not going to make it to dinner. Can you help us get out of here? So he's online. He said, well, I think you should go here, maybe through this city and check this. And yeah, and lots of mountains between where we were and where we wanted to go, and lots of extra path. And the challenge with unlost people or lost people like me is that we don't know when we get lost. We just don't. I mean, if we knew when we were lost, we could just back up to that point and go, well, right here I got lost, and so I'm found again. But we just don't do that very well. And it really infuriates and frustrates those of you guys who are found. You're like, how do you do this? I mean, what's wrong with you? You're like a genetic mutant. Like something is just wrong. And maybe that's true. Maybe we are. How many of you guys are lost ones like me? How many of you guys can get lost anywhere? Be proud. It's okay. I know it's a moral deficiency, but hey, we got it. We admit we're sinners here, okay? But we're saved by the grace of Jesus. Okay? But I do enjoy life. And we find some really cool things off the beaten path. We found some great restaurants and some cool waterfalls, and we may not get where we're going on time, but man, we find some cool stuff. And that's what I always tell her. I said, babe, you would miss all this adventure if you didn't have me. You would just go, you'd be happy, you'd just be on the interstate, A to B, B to A, boring. I mean, me, I'm like A, Z, Q, P, R, Z, or everywhere. And then finally we get there, but man, we've had quite a journey. We've learned a lot of new things. We've seen places you have never seen. Yeah, well, a few years ago, we're traveling down to the Charleston mission trip. Richard, come on up here. Help me with this part. And my good buddy Richard Talley, man, now this is a guy who's found most of the time. He's not a lost person, I don't think. You're not lost, are you?
I'm pretty lost.
You're a pretty lost person? That surprises me because he's a motorhead and he races cars and he's into all this stuff, but he also was pulling the trailer. Now this year we took the big trailer and you had your big truck, what kind of truck is that?
F-250.
F-250 what? But it's more than that. It's like special edition, Harley Davidson something. So, honking big truck. Yeah, so he's got his honking big truck, and he's got his people in the front.
Compared to your cute little truck.
My cute little dead truck that's sitting in the back with a flat, like southeastern Kentucky style. I'm all good. So that's a whole other story. But anyway, so he's pulling our big trailer, and it's loaded down, and you've got people in the cab with you and stuff, and
we had the big trailer full of table saws and chop saws and chainsaws and pressure washers, the whole spiel. And
everything our mission trip relied on.
Yeah, and we left. We decided to go down a day early, and we took Journey and Matt with us and decided we'll go through Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg and spend the day there.
Which sounds like a great idea.
Oh, it was great. It was fun. And so that was good, and then we left Sunday morning to leave from there to go to Charleston and, punch it in the GPS, and we're going up through the mountains. And when you're looking at the GPS and it shows your path going like that, it's, because usually it was bad.
Yeah, and so you've got this trailer in the truck, and you turned, I think you got off of pavement at one point.
Well, I don't know that we missed a turn or whatever, and I'm the one, I like to know where I'm going. Rebecca's the all roads lead somewhere. Let's just try this way.
Yeah.
Normally, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's her thing.
Yeah.
Me, not so much. It's duh. I'm sure all roads lead somewhere. But anyway, and now Journey apparently has some motion sickness stuff going on. So he's got his head hanging out. He didn't yak, but he had his head hanging out the window. But anyway, it was a nice paved road. It was very crooked and uphilly. But then it told us to make this turn, and it was like a switchback turn. And I don't know what the name of the road was. I mean, it was literally like Stinking Creek Road or something. I mean, it was a little bitty road, and we start going down, and it's like, well, we can't back up. We got this 20-foot trailer. So anyway, Rebecca's like, well, just keep going. I'm sure that it's still telling us to go.
All roads go somewhere.
Yeah. Recalculating. But anyway, we end up, and the road literally turns to gravel, and we're like, awesome, this is awesome. And then we get a sign we're entering some kind of state park reserve or whatever. Thank God there's a park ranger there, and we pull up and roll the window down, and Rebecca's like, excuse me, could you help us? And she tells him where we're going, and he kind of stands back and, what you got in the trailer? And we told him, and he kind of laughed. He kind of chuckled a little bit. He said, "You're fine." He goes, "There's a couple of what do you call it? Hairpin turns." He goes, "You should be all right." And we were. I mean, we ended up. We're going through these gravel roads and these big hairpins, and all of a sudden we turn left, and bam, there's the interstate. But I mean, who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, for just a moment, you were not sure, man. So it's tough to know when you transition from being found to being lost, isn't it? I mean, it's not always clear. But like Rebecca says, man, all roads go somewhere, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Thanks for sharing your story. Good. And thanks for pulling the trailer.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it's fantastic. So it just made me think of him today. And, all roads do go somewhere. That's one of the things we're going to talk about is all roads go somewhere. All paths go somewhere. We know this in our minds. And when we're driving, we know that if I'm on this road, it should go to here. Now, if I want to go to Florida from here, I could take 65 or 75 out of, 64 to 75. But what way would I need to go once I'm at 65 or 75, north or south? South, why? Because Florida is where? South. What if I got on going north and said I was going to Florida? Would you think I was nuts? Why? It just doesn't work that way, does it? The challenge is that even though we know this with geography, sometimes in life, we don't put those things together. Like, the path I'm on is going to go somewhere. Sometimes we believe that if we pray enough or we have the right intentions or we feel good about the path we're on, that will take us magically to there. I could be heading north, and I promise this is true of me. I can be going north on 75 and be really happy till I'm in Detroit. Okay? Julie, not happy. And I'm fine. I'm supposed to be in Florida. I'm like, well, it's a little detour. We'll be there soon. We'll get there. I'm like Rebecca. I'm like, well, we're having an adventure. It's all fine. But no matter how I feel about it, I'm still headed the wrong direction, right? So it's possible to feel good about your direction and still be headed the wrong way. That's the point, is that sometimes you can feel good about where you are and still be going the wrong way. Let me give you an example in real life physiology about how our bodies work. And yeah, I'm a sinner. I'm going to go ahead and confess. One of my weaknesses is this right here. Now, it says I should give this to a friend. I will not. I will drink it myself. Okay. Actually, I still might give it to a friend if you're really nice to me. Julie and I had the privilege of having lunch with Jim and Beth yesterday, and we had a really good time, and Jim witnessed my sin as I had a Coke for lunch, and Julie glared at me the whole time. She's like, you're lost, you're lost, you're lost. You're making the wrong choice. You're going the wrong direction. She's right. I want you to think about this. This Coke says that it has 140 calories in it. Okay, so it's 140 calories. Now let's do a little math here together. If I drink 10 of these, how many calories? How many? Be loud, be proud. It's okay. 1,400. Your teacher said there would be a test someday, and your math teacher assured you needed this in real life. You do. Okay, so here we go. 1,400. If I drink 20 of these, how many calories is in this? 2,800. Is it possible for somebody to drink 20 of these in a month, just kind of extra, like I just want to have these? Okay. What if I drink 30 of these? And that's a little tougher math, but go with me for a second. How many calories? Come on. 4,200. 4,200 calories, all right, in this, all right? If I drink enough of them, there's 4,200 calories. It's easy to consume an extra 4,200 calories in a month of Cokes. Promise, I could do that in a couple of meals. Like, bring the refill, keep coming. Don't say anything. Shut up. Okay? But it's this thing that happens, and so 4,200 calories worth of Coke. Do you know how many calories are in a pound of fat? 3,500. I heard 3,600 last service. Either way, 3,600, somewhere in that range. So if I drink 4,200 extra calories of Coke, how many pounds of fat can I expect to gain? 1 point something. So let's just say it's 1. Let's just round it down to 1. I'll be nice to you. 1. Now, by the way, I know that none of the rest of you have challenges with anything like this. You're never lost. You always make the right decision, and you never make bad choices about what you put in your body. So this is really a sermon just for me. I'm just talking to myself. Okay, so this doesn't impact you, so don't feel offended, all right? So if I drink enough of these, I gain 1 pound. 4,200 extra calories, at least 1 pound, all right? So let's say that this year, I pick up 5 pounds doing this, okay? So that's not a big deal, 5 pounds, big whoop, it's not that big a deal, right? What about next, if I do it for 2 years, how many pounds would I gain? 10. If I do it for 3 years, go with me. Come on, be proud. 15 if I go 4 years. If I go 10 years, how much? 50 if I go 20 years at this pace, what? 100 pounds. 100 pounds. 100 pounds extra Jeff. Supersize me, baby. Okay? You guys would love that, wouldn't you? Be the round mound of preaching power. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. And you'd be loving on me, man. I have more than love handles. I have like love ladders or something. Like you can really get hold of me then. It would be awesome. And extra 100 pounds of Jeff to go around. More loving for y'all. Here we go. And where did it start? It starts with an event. It starts with an event. And I do it again, and again, again. Now what if I'm happy the whole time? Okay, that's fine. I might be happy. What if my intention is that I want to be fit and healthy as my years go on so that I can enjoy life with my family, so Julie and I can travel and we can do cool things with our kids and maybe if they ever have kids, maybe with them too, and just to really be vibrant right to the end of my life. Is that where this path goes? Yes or no? No. But what if I prayerfully am going down the path like God, I just want you to bless my path. I want to be healthy and to enjoy my family. I'm 100 pounds up. Is that God's deal or mine? It's mine. It's mine. No matter, I may have all kinds of feelings about it. I might have all kinds of intentions about it. But the reality is the path goes somewhere. All roads go somewhere. The road you are on goes somewhere because it's your direction and not your intention that determines your destination. It's your direction and not your intention that determines your destination. The road you are on goes somewhere. And so the Bible speaks to this. Scripture has a lot to say about this. A man named Solomon who wrote some of the Proverbs for us, he was known as the wisest man that ever lived. And Solomon wrote a proverb about our direction and our destination and where it goes and what happens. And I want to share some ideas from Proverbs chapter 7 with you that I think will be really helpful in considering the principle of the path. That's what we're studying in this series, the principle of the path. And the principle of the path says this, that it's your direction and not your intention that determines your destination. All right, so Proverbs 7, and let me just share this with you. I'm going to read it to you, and just imagine this story. This is Solomon speaking, and it says, "Follow my advice, my son. Always treasure my commands. Obey them and live. Guard my teachings as your most precious possession. Tie them on your fingers as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart." And graduates, and all of you have graduated from something, man, as your pastor, and if I was your pastor, I am your pastor, and I wanted to say some things to you. These are some things I want to say is, man, gather this wisdom, take it deep into your heart, listen closely, and understand. Find out where you are on the map, put an X there, look at the road out ahead and say, where does this road go? Wisdom helps us know what road we're on and where the road will wind up. So bring wisdom close to you. Love wisdom like a sister. Make insight a beloved member of your family. Let them hold you back from an affair with an immoral woman, from listening to the flattery of an adulterous woman. And then Solomon goes into a story. Now, we don't know if this story really happened or if it's something just he's giving a kind of an allegory, something he wanted to share with people about wisdom. But here's how he unpacks the story. Solomon says, "I was looking out the window of my house one day and saw a simple-minded young man who lacked common sense." Some versions say he lacked wisdom or he lacked experience. He wasn't a very experienced young man. He was kind of foolish. He really wasn't paying attention to the path in front of him. He was crossing the street near the house of an immoral woman. He was strolling down the path by her house at twilight as the day was fading, as the dark of night set in. So where are we? Kind of dusk. It's dark. Solomon's looking out his window, and he's watching what happens here. He's seeing this unfold before his eyes like watching a movie on a screen. She was the brash, rebellious type who never stays at home. She's often seen in the streets and markets soliciting at every corner. She threw her arms around him and kissed him, and with a brazen look she said, "I've offered my sacrifices and just finished my vows. It's you I was looking for. I came out to find you, and here you are." And he believed it. Okay? "My bed is spread with colored sheets of finest linen imported from Egypt. I perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let's drink of our fill of love until morning. Let's enjoy each other's caresses. For my husband is not home. He's away on a long trip. He has taken a wallet full of money with him, and he won't return until later this month." Heck, you can not just come over tonight, but you can stay for the month. We can have breakfast. It's going to be really cool. So the young man is he's thinking, this is pretty good. I'm kind of liking it right now. So she seduced him with her pretty speech. With her flattery, she enticed him. Now, this is what the young man thinks is going on. Let me give you a little soundtrack to what's happening in the young man's mind. So Sherry, if you will, let's play the soundtrack of what's happening in this young man's mind as this is unfolding. "I'm so hot. She's loving me. I am good looking. I'm like an NFL athlete. I got it going on. All the women like me, especially tonight. I'm so hot, she can't keep her hands off me. She's loving me. That's what he's thinking is going on. Get your motor running. Get out on the highway. I mean, he is having a good time. He's into this. Like, this is really cool, man. She's digging me. Like, she came out to find me because I am so stinking hot. Yeah. He's buying it, all of it. He's not even thinking, is he? Nothing. So that's what he thinks is going on. That's what he's feeling like. And he's seeing this, he's thinking, this is just a moment. This is just one thing. It's just one little sip of sin. It's not going to be a big deal. It's going to be fun, man. This is great because she told me it's going to be fun. Right? Right? But there's another view from the window, from the wiser person who can see what's out in front of him. The older person knows this isn't just an event. This is a path. The road you're on is going somewhere. So, Sherry, if you will, while I read these scriptures, let's see what the older man is thinking, the wiser man is thinking about what's happening. He followed her at once, like an ox going to slaughter, or like a trapped stag awaiting the arrow that would pierce its heart. He was like a bird flying into a snare, little knowing it would cost him his life. So the older man, why is he saying that? Why does he feel that way? Because he's seen it before. He tells us he's seen it before. What's this? Listen to me, my sons, and pay attention to my words. Don't let your heart stray away toward her. Don't wander down her wayward path. For she has been the ruin of many numerous men who have been her victims. This has happened over and over and over again. This is a predictable road, and it has a predictable destination. You're on this road. This is where it winds up. And so the older man, the wiser man, is seeing this, and he's thinking, oh, no, this is not good. This is not going to go in a good place. For she has been the ruin of many numerous men have been her victims. Her house is the road to the grave. Her bedroom is the den of death. Now this young man thinks, oh, this is just one little event. It's not a big deal. The wiser person with a different view is saying, oh man, this is not just an event. This is a path. And this path goes to a bad place. Now there's a wonder about some of the paths you're choosing right now. You think, it's not that big a deal. Really? Begin to think about some things. It's interesting that we know this works in geography and works on getting to our destination, physically in a car, but we might not know it in our lives. Think about this. Some of you have in mind, many of us, that we would like to have a great family life, that we would love to be close to our kids and close to our wife or our husband, and we want to have this magic connection so that as our children grow up, that we have a connection with them into adulthood, and that we could enjoy our lives with our family for a long time. And yet, we work so much that we never spend time with them. Now, there's a disconnect there, isn't there? Or what about this? Like I mentioned a while ago, we think, man, I want to be healthy and to enjoy my life and to spend time with my family. I don't want to be healthy enough to enjoy this, but we continue to consume too many calories from whatever source. And you might say, I don't have a problem with Cokes, but yours might be wine or beer or whatever. I don't know. But if you consume too many calories, you're going to get fat. That's how life works. This is the reality. You know, what about some of you young ladies in here? Some of you single ladies. You're thinking, I want to have a great future with a godly man. I want to find somebody that's following Jesus. And instead of volunteering to work at a live sports camp and maybe meeting an eligible bachelor around here that's really trying to follow Jesus, you start hanging out at the bars and dating the next cute guy that walks by. Your only criteria is how cute is he? Where's that likely to go? Really? You think that's going to lead you to some godly man? Your chances of that are real slim. It's like playing the lottery. Like you might come up with one, but probably not. So our path, our road leads somewhere. It goes somewhere. It winds up in a place. most of us want to have secure financial futures. Most of us want to have control of our finances, and it would be weird to think the way to do that would be to max out all the credit cards you can get your hands on, wouldn't it? Like if you're just maxing out the credit cards and you're rolling in consumer debt and you're just building up more and more debt and that compound interest starts working against you. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. You think you're just going skinny dipping in the ocean. There's a big old shark getting ready to bite your wallet. Yeah, that. And so these things, these paths we get on go somewhere, right? Because all roads go somewhere. It's your direction and not your intention that determines your destination. So here's the question that I want you to consider today. Who or what is seducing you right now? Who or what has your attention? Who's luring you down a path that's not going to end in a good place? Put an X on the map where you are in all these different areas of your life that matter to you, and then be wise enough to consider, where does this road really go? What does Scripture say about it? What does God say about it? What do wise people who've been on the planet longer, who follow Jesus longer, what would they say about this path where it ends up? That would be wisdom, to seek out those answers. And maybe it's time to change your path. Maybe it's time to make a course correction. Maybe it's time to admit, I'm on a bad path that goes to a bad place. And I need to fix my path. I need to go a different direction. Course corrections are allowed here. Jesus makes it possible for us to be forgiven of going the wrong direction. You see in this story, part of what the woman is saying to the guy she's seducing is, listen, I've gone to the priest and I've paid my sacrifices and I've been absolved of all my sins. My sin bucket is empty and I'm ready to fill it up again with you. In the Catholic faith, you go to a priest and you confess your sins and then you empty your sin bucket and you go back and fill it up. If you're Protestant or non-denominational, then you skip the priest thing. You just pray to Jesus, Jesus, I'm sorry. You dump out your sin bucket. And then you're ready to fill it up again. That's what she's doing with him. And she's also indicating to him, I'm not a prostitute. I'm an upstanding woman. I got plenty of money. I'm fine. What's seducing you? What is it that's pulling you aside? What is it that has your attention? Guys, for us, I've heard it said that it's usually gold or glory or girls. I don't know what it is for ladies. It might be the same thing, only it might be guys in that third space. But gold or glory or girls, or maybe it's gold, glory, and guys. I don't know what it is. But something has your attention. Something's attracting you to a path. And it's important that you know, graduates, that the road you're on goes someplace. The paths you choose goes someplace. Understand what the destination is. If it's the wrong road, it's time to fix it. Because your direction and not your intention determines your destination.